Hey folks, I just saw a really good video for people who are needing to have a living will, and I think that's most of us, because you never know. Some interesting stuff that I noticed on my living will they didn't include, and I actually found a place with a free living will that they did include it. And one is palliative anesthesia, and the other is natural death. And so I thought I would go over that with you. Yeah, I got my hair cut, just in case you didn't notice. But I still have no makeup on, so. We do what we can do. Okay, so I've got this little folder, which is really messy. I've got my, even though my husband is my durable power of attorney, medical durable power of attorney, I just put our marriage certificate in there because my name is different than his, which I mean to change before I die. And I'll be a Wagner instead of an O'Keefe. So I got that. And then there's this silly thing that I don't know what this is, but it's a statement of desires concerning life-prolonging care, treatment services, and procedures. And I don't know if you can see it, but I've got no invasive procedures, do not resuscitate, and then I got it notarized and I signed it, and I got my witnesses there. And then I've got a Colorado declaration as to medical or surgical treatment. And, you know, I don't know, I think this is overkill. But all this says is, you know, if I have an injury, disease, or illness that's not curable or reversible, and it's terminal for a period of 7 continuous, I've been unconscious, comatose, then life-sustaining procedures shall be withdrawn and withheld. And that's just this little piece here. And then on the second page, I also had to get this notarized. I execute this declaration, blah, 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 and again, and I've got witnesses, and that's that. And then, and this seems pretty silly because it's really involved, but my healthcare choices. Now, I got all this stuff from Kaiser, and I'm not with Kaiser anymore, but my healthcare choices, and you know, whether I want to be cremated or buried, and you know, it's a DNR, do not resuscitate, and it says my life is only worth living if I can, and I put talk to my family or friends, recover enough to feed, bathe, or take care of myself, be free from pain, and live without being hooked up to machines. The second page, if I'm so sick that I may die soon, and then there's all this thing for people who want to stay in psych support. And I say I want no attempts at CPR, no breathing machine, no dialysis, no blood transfusion, no artificial feeding and hydration. And I want no medicine on any kind unless they are provided for my comfort. I don't want any life support treatments at all, even if it means I might die by not having them. Now, this natural death thing that I saw, this kind of covers it. I want no artificial feeding and hydration. Apparently there's a really easy, fast, and painless way to die, and that is to refuse fluids and refuse food. And they call that a natural death. all I keep thinking of is Bobby Sands in Ireland and Belfast, because God, I loved that man, and I mean, I never met him, but you know what I mean. He was an idol for me. So I think I could do that if those boys could do that. Then they ask you your religion or spirituality, whether you want to donate your organs, what doctors should know about how you want it to be treated after you die. Like I really care. I mean, really, I'm not in the body, and just I only care because my family, my loved ones care. And then I found this other thing, which makes a lot more sense to me. Hold on, I'm going to go get it. It's on the top of my printer. And that's this Advanced Healthcare Directive. And it talks about artificial hydration and nutrition. It talks about life-sustaining treatments with health. But here's the thing. It's got, and this is what you got to pay attention to, relief from pain. So if your living will does not have something that I request care that gives me comfort and support and that facilitates my interactions with those around me and that relieves my pain and suffering. In case of severe pain, I request that drugs be administered in necessary amount or medical or surgical treatment be utilized, calculated to relieve my pain up to and including the time of my death, regardless of side effects. That's the important piece. Even if their use may lead to permanent physical damage, addiction, like anyone cares about addiction when you're terminally ill, or may hasten the time of my death. And that, I think, was the palliative. They also, interestingly, put euthanasia in here, even though Colorado hasn't okayed euthanasia. But they say if by the time I die they have, I want to be able to use that option. So that palliative pain care to put you into unconsciousness, you want to make sure you have that option. And then I've yet to sign all this stuff and get to. I've got to put my web out and try to pull in 2 people to sign it. And but interestingly, in Colorado, it doesn't have to be notarized, thank God. So that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to get rid of this other stuff. It just seems complicated to me. There's so many pieces of paper. And what do they look at first? So I am going to do this Advanced Healthcare Directive, and I'm going to put it in with it. And of course, it'll be, you know, the latest dated, and so therefore it'll be the one that they'll go by. But there's nothing in any of those papers that are not in this one, and I think it's just a lot easier to read. The next thing I have to do is do a will. Hold on. And I want to do a will just because, I mean, it's not going to say much in it, but just because I should have a will. And it just makes things a lot easier for people, and for, you know, if they try to make a trustee because there isn't any will, although I don't know why they do that since I'm married, but you never know with them. So I'm just going to try to cover all these bases, you know. I think that once I have the will in place, I'll be good to go. I don't think anyone will be able to challenge my husband's following of my wishes, and I know he will. and I have my son following my husband, and I actually put my sister Lauren as third, although I hope it doesn't get to her because I'm not so sure she will follow my wishes. So I'm now kind of wondering whether I should have done that or not. But plans still up for the operating team, although they don't know yet, and my plan to make them write a word. Somebody said, well, they didn't think that they're going to allow a piece of paper and writing on a word inside the surgical arena because it won't be sterilized. And then I thought, but if a nurse paints another nurse or the doc with betadine on their back, the word, and I'm talking about I'm going to try to out-of-body experience, and then when I wake up from surgery, tell them the word. So I thought maybe they can betadine each other's backs. And my guess is maybe one person will agree to do that. I don't know, but they're going to think I'm really flaky. And I am, so that's okay. That's okay. I won't blame them if they, well, actually, I will blame them if they don't want to do it. I mean, it's an experiment. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do it? What if it works? And I just talked to my son yesterday, and he is wonderful, and he's meditating, and he's having experiences, and it's just, I know that the reason why I survived at 12 was because I was supposed to have him. I mean, I truly believe that. And although you don't know who I'm talking about, I'll show you who I'm talking about. Where is he? Okay. That's my son. He's a beautiful man, and he will be 40. He's going to be 40. I don't believe it. He's going to be 40. Oh, here he is, too. You can tell how much. That's my son. He'll be 40 next month, so he's the love of my life. He really is. I mean, real strong connection there. Anyway. So, enough about that. That was boring. At least I didn't show you pictures of my vacation. So you can be thankful of that. Because I haven't had a vacation. So I couldn't show you any. But, okay. So if you have a terminal illness, or even if you don't, make sure you got all these papers. You want your durable medical attorney representative. You want your medical. Oh hell! See what happens when you get flaky. You get like forget it. But you want your durable medical power of attorney. You want your living will. And don't forget, make a will. I don't care how old you are. Somebody could sideswipe you in a New York minute on the highway. And nobody plans for that. So, do that stuff for yourself. And that way, you can have your wishes out there and not just somebody else's. Whether you want the whole shebangy or not. If you don't say it, you can't be sure that it's going to happen. So, anyway. Okay, everyone have a great week, and I'll talk to you probably in about a week. Okay, bye-bye.